Good evening and welcome to your daily current affairs show, Reality Check. I'm Ramna Said, bringing you the top stories shaping Pakistan and the world today. Tonight, we focus on three major global developments: the global instability, unresolved conflicts, and the rising role of women in agriculture and economic growth, along with the high-level diplomacy between Pakistan and China. Each of these stories not only informs but also shapes the landscape of policy, security, and the social progress here at home and abroad. Let's start with the state of the world as 2026 begins. A year of crisis and conflicts ends without a resolution. As the world stepped into 2026, the calm of the new year proved to be fleeting. Geopolitical tensions quickly returned to the headlines, underscoring a stark reality. Many conflicts remained unresolved, and international norms are under pressure. In Gaza, a ceasefire declared last October has been breached multiple times. Since 2023, over 71,000 Palestinians, 71,000 Palestinians have lost their lives, and civilians continue to bear the brunt of violence. Meanwhile, in Ukraine, peace talks remain stalled, prolonging a war that began in 2022, with millions displaced and economic losses mounting. Across Africa, Sudan, and Eastern Congo continue to grapple with humanitarian crisis, mass displacement, and local conflicts that remain largely underreported. This highlights the uneven application of international law, and leaders like Vladimir Putin and Sudan's Omar al-Bashir face international arrest warrants. Yet another figures operate with impunity, reflecting the selective accountability on the global stage. Meanwhile, military operations illustrate the stark contrast between cooperation and unilateral action. On January 3rd, British and French forces conducted a joint airstrike in Syria, targeting an ISIS-linked underground arms depot, a rare example of coordinated international action aimed at stabilizing a region. In contrast, the United States carried out a surprise operation in Venezuela, capturing President Nicolas Maduro and transporting him to New York. The move has sparked major diplomatic backlash and also has raised concerns over the precedent for unilateral interventions in the sovereign nation. Tensions in the Middle East remain equally high. United States President Donald Trump publicly warned Iran that any violent suppression of peaceful protests would prompt a US response, stating that Washington is locked and loaded. Iranian officials fired back, calling such interference a red line that provokes serious retaliation. Adding to the intensity, an Israeli opposition leader advised Tehran to closely observe the events in Venezuela, indicating the far-reaching implications of the unilateral US actions. Analysts note that these developments expose a growing trend of power-based diplomacy, unilateral interventions, selective law enforcement, and the undermining of multilateral mechanisms are reshaping the rules of global engagement. For Pakistan, a country already navigating regional tensions, climate vulnerabilities, and economic challenges, the lesson is clear. Regional stability depends increasingly on measured diplomacy and strategic partnerships. Speaking of vulnerabilities, climate change remains an urgent global crisis. 2025 was recorded as the hottest year in history, with heat waves, floods, and droughts causing humanitarian crises worldwide. Pakistan, already highly susceptible to environmental shocks, faces mounting pressure on food security, agriculture, and water resources. Experts warn that without urgent action and consistent enforcement of international norms, 2026 may see heightened conflict, humanitarian stress, and unpredictability on a global scale. Turning to the positive developments in the domestic front, 2026 has been declared the International Year of Women Farmer by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, or FAO. This initiative aims to recognize the vital yet often undervalued contributions of women in agriculture, Globally, women make up to 40% of the agri-food workforce, covering production, livestock, processing, trade, and household nutrition. In Pakistan, women's role is even more pronounced. 74% of the working women are employed in the agricultural sector, contributing nearly 40% of the household income. Despite this, women farmers continue to face challenges, including low pay, informal work, limited land access, and restricted entry to credit and technology. However, FAO recommends policy reforms to address these inequities. Measures including establishing minimum wages for women farmers, ensuring wage parity with men for equal work, and allocating unused government land along with water and input subsidies to support rural livelihoods. However, only 1% of businesses are women-led, and a staggering 92% remain informal, limiting opportunities for sustainable growth and market integration. Experts emphasize that financial access alone is insufficient. True economic transformation occurs when women are integrated into formal value chains. A successful example is the collaboration of artistic milliners with the women cotton farmers. A 4% increase in the cotton yield, reduced use of fertilizer and pesticides, a 1/3 reduction in overall farming cost, demonstrating how women's inclusion drives productivity and long-term sustainability. On the ground, empowerment initiatives are taking shape. In Swabi, a 3-day training program organized by UN Women and Women University Swabi focused on climate-resilient agriculture, regenerative climate practices, and income-generating farming techniques. Experts say that when women earn, households thrive, children attend school, and communities prosper, proving that empowering women is not just a social imperative, but an economic strategy for Pakistan's growth. In diplomacy, Pakistan is making strategic moves to ensure regional stability. Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar visited Beijing on January 4th. Co-chairing the 7th Pakistan-China Foreign Ministers' Strategic Dialogue with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Dar was the first foreign dignitary to visit China in 2026, signaling Pakistan's continuing importance to Beijing. The dialogue covered the full spectrum of bilateral relations, including political cooperation, trade investment, regional stability, and the Pakistan-China Economic Corridor, or CPEC. Both leaders highlighted that the Pakistan-China friendship is vital for regional peace and prosperity, agreeing to enhance coordination and bilateral and multilateral forums. This year also marks the 75th anniversary of Pakistan-China diplomatic relations. Dar and Wang jointly unveiled the official anniversary logo, launching a year-long celebration to chart a forward-looking vision for enhanced cooperation. During his visit, Dar also met Executive Vice Premier Ding Xueshang and Liu Haixing of the Communist Party of China, discussing party-to-party exchanges, regional developments, and the ongoing CPEC projects. Analysts also note that this visit reinforces Pakistan-China ties as a pillar of regional stability, economic growth, and strategic partnership, a critical anchor for Pakistan as it navigates the world increasingly defined by instability and competition. Analysts note that this visit reinforces Pakistan-China ties as a pillar of regional stability, economic growth, and strategic partnership, a critical anchor for Pakistan as it navigates a world increasingly defined by instability and competition. In context, this relationship offers Pakistan both economic and diplomatic leverage. With global uncertainty rising, strong partnerships like the one with China are a key to securing investment, infrastructure, development, and strategic balance in the region. So that was a snapshot of today's key developments and global conflicts that remain unresolved. Women emerging as a force for Pakistan's economic growth and strong diplomatic engagement with China as we celebrate the 75 years of Pak-China friendship. We will continue to monitor these stories and bring you the latest updates as they unfold. I'm Ramna Said, and thank you for watching Reality Check, and stay informed.